Can you guys hear me now? I didn't have my mic on. I'm so sorry. I was just talking away. Welcome. Welcome to Winter Woman Land. Welcome to my recap of Summer House, Martha's Vineyard. And I'm actually caught all the way, y'all. I done got hooked on this show. I binge watched season 1, and then I've caught up to where we are in season 2. So I promised everyone that now that I've jumped on the Summer House bandwagon, that I would go live and recap and review the episodes. Now, I'm gonna give my recap all the way 1 through 6 tonight, because for me to go back and recap every doggone episode, y'all, it just ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. And it's not necessary, because I will probably just ruin it for you guys. And I really want everyone to start watching this show. It is so good. I want to give a huge shout out to my IC Insider community. That is our channel members, and they're called the IC Insiders. If you are IC Insider in the house tonight, welcome, welcome. You guys are amazing. We are growing, and I appreciate you guys for supporting the channel. The goal is to grow and glow, and we are doing just that. You guys have been amazing. We had 697 people live in the chat from this channel, which says a lot. And you guys have just come in like a mighty rushing wind and supported your girl like crazy. So I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. If you're not a member and you just continue to come back and support the channel, thank you so much. I'm so appreciative. And we're just going to continue, doing a darn thing. All that to say, so let's just go through the cast, okay? So this cast consists of a mixture of women and men. And there is Jasmine, who I consider like, she's the leader of the group. And then her husband, Silas. There is Bria. There is Amir. Oh, gosh. Is it Alex? Amir, Alex, Phil, Nick, Preston. Those are the guys. And you guys correct me if I'm wrong. There's Jasmine, Bria, Summer, Noelle, Mariah, and oh my gosh, Summer, Bria, Noelle, Mariah. Who am I missing? I'm missing someone. Jordan. I can't forget Jordan. I think I got everybody. If I missed someone, you guys forgive me. Anyway, so season 2, episode 6, they have their own version of Freaknik. And Jordan, I believe, is in charge of this particular event. And this group is a group that goes to Martha's Vineyard to vacation together every single year. So they're a strong group of friends. And it seems like they just go for a couple of weeks and they have a good time. Now, if you watch season 1, you kind of learn everyone's personalities. Silas and Jasmine are coming into the group married now. So this is like season 1 is like their first year of marriage. And they're the only couple in the group that's married. So season 1, you kind of see this tug of war of them settling into being married, newlyweds. And so there's a lot of what I call first year turmoil, and that's very normal. It's very normal, very, very normal. They're growing pains. Living together is a different type of adjustment, and they are very much adjusting season 1. I'm gonna be honest, Jasmine initially got on my nerves because, you know, she was like a typical newlywed wife, my man, my man, my man, my man. But on the flip side, her man's got on my nerves. And I felt like, baby, he was putting her through boot camp. Okay. He was putting her through first wife boot camp. That baby was cooking, ironing, cleaning. I just felt like she was going through first wife boot camp. Anyway, fast forward this season, she is expecting. He is away. He's been deployed because he's in the military. So this summer, she is on the trip by herself. And it's really interesting to see her announce to the group that she's expecting. Some of the group is supportive. Some of the group, I feel like, has an attitude. Has an attitude. But it's just kind of different to see some of the different personalities come into this group. All that to say, they have their own version of Freaknik. And the significant others of some of the cast come on the trip for the first time. We know that Amir brought his girlfriend. He has a girlfriend now. He didn't have one season 1. He tried to get at everybody in that house, as did every dude for the most part, with the exception of Alex. He acted like he was too good for everybody, and his standards was just so high. I ain't gonna lie. I like Alex, but Alex, you got on my nerves, sir. He was just on Watch What Happens Live. Literally got on my last nerve. So Amir brings his girlfriend. Preston brings his boyfriend. Y'all want some tea? So I shot my shot on Twitter to Preston because I found out that he lives in my area. Real talk, me and Preston are going for happy hour drinks next week. And just maybe, I can, fingers crossed, get him to do an interview on my channel. And he will be my first interview from Summer House. I do want to reach out to everyone because I'm invested in this show, but Preston and I are going out next week. So that's some tea for you guys. Exciting Winter Womanland tea. But Preston brings his boyfriend. Who else brings a significant other? Okay, so Bria's boyfriend, who we met season 1, comes over from Germany. Now, y'all, let's just talk about Bria. Bria is a brat. I call her Bria the brat. And Bria, you seem lovely, but on this show, you are a brat, sweetie. And she's just obnoxious in the worst kind of way. And the funny thing is, I used to have a friend like Bria, and her name was Brie. Go figure. So I'm like, please tell me all the Bries ain't bratty, because the Brie I knew, oh, she wore me out. She was very high maintenance. Want to talk about her again? Brie is something else. I just feel like she honestly wants to have an attitude, just to have an attitude. And let me just greet some people in the chat. Hey, Uppity, Esther, welcome. Always girl. Number 1, welcome. I just want to show you guys some love right quick. Want to know? Here you go. Welcome. And shout out to everyone that's not in the chat, but you are watching. But yeah, she definitely works my nerves, as does Jordan, who I feel like has deep-rooted trauma that I don't know that she's necessarily addressed, but I just feel like she wants to be angry at the world. And she did open up to some of her health challenges. I think she's navigating an autoimmune disorder. And as a woman who suffers from autoimmune disorders, my heart does go out to her. But I'm not walking around here just being a tyrant. And I feel like she could stand to maybe get some support through her disorder, because it's making her just weird. Am I the only person that feels that way about Jordan? Sorry, y'all, to get something to drink. Woo. Anyway, So all of their significant others are there, and they basically start to have their own version of Freaknik. Everyone's having a good time. Amir's girlfriend is a little standoffish, and I feel like she's checking for all the girls in the group that Amir is around. And he was basically honest with her and said, hey, you know, there's been some interaction between me and the ladies in the house, but it didn't go anywhere. And they know that I'm with you and I'm faithful, I'm loyal, but I still feel like she comes in the house very skeptical of everyone. I don't know, like from his first FaceTime with her on camera, she just came across having an attitude, and she was also kind of standoffish and not very engaged when she did come to visit. And this is the way I feel. Don't bring your happy behind to no gathering and then be standoffish. Stay home. Stay home. If your attitude and your face cannot handle it, stay home. I think Amir's girlfriend should have sat this one out, because she really did just kind of seem like she was giving everybody the side eye. And I just don't think that was necessary. I don't know. She gave me weird vibes. I love Preston. He's my favorite on the show. To me, Preston gives the right amount of shade. He knows how to resolve conflict. He knows how to give a read, and he knows how to be easygoing, but at the same time, hold people accountable. And he holds himself accountable. That is the one thing I have observed so far that I can appreciate about Preston. He had a conversation with Bria this episode, and he was just like, I love you, but you can honestly be a brat sometimes. And sometimes it just gets to be too much. And I don't hold you accountable because I hate you, but girl, pull yourself together. Okay. So she receives it. And I think Preston does a good job of that. Last episode, Preston had a conversation with Phil. And if you guys remember Phil from season 1, Phil was absolutely disgusting to the entire group. He came in with a vengeance, being obnoxious and really just a jerk. And he offended a lot of people in the house. As a result, he didn't get to stay in the house. And he ended up apologizing to Preston. And Preston was man enough to have the conversation, which I can appreciate. And I think no matter how bad someone is, it takes a lot to be the bigger person. When under normal circumstances, you might not want to fool with that person ever again. So I commend Preston for having a grown man conversation with Phil and moving forward. All that to say, all the significant others are mixing and mingling. And I'm just going to say, Bria's boyfriend from Germany is a lot more tolerable than Bria. A lot more tolerable. I honestly feel like we can have Bria's boyfriend as a full-time cast member, and Bria can go to Germany. Just swap them out. That's how I feel. Like, she has the ability to be quite insufferable. And then there are times where I like her personality. But that girl will wear me out, I think. Between her and Jordan, I feel like they have the most toxic interactions with people. And Kay, I honestly, I'm gonna put your comment up here. I'm gonna hold my judgment on that. Because I feel like Preston is a slow burn. And I feel like he's given Jordan a lot of grace because he's closer to her, but I don't know that that's gonna last long. I feel like Preston is going to come through in the clutch on her. I really do. I do. I'm going to hold my judgment on that. Esther says, I agree with Winter. Bria going, listen, Bria she's a lot. She's honestly exhausting. Hi, hot nerd. But anyway, they have a good time. Basically, they get too drunk. And y'all know people, when they are intoxicated, literally aren't the best emotionally at times. And it's unfortunate, but that's when things take a turn for the worse. And Summer flips a gasket on Bria. I think Summer is mentally unhinged at times. And I didn't understand what the blow up and blowout is about. I know she's going through a lot, but I just didn't understand it. I didn't understand it at all. I just felt like it was a nice night, and whatever she's jealous of between the other three girls, I just felt like this was blown so out of proportion to have a moment. And it was a moment that made her look very childish. Now, a lot of these moments they have, I do feel like because they're younger, can lend to be on the childish side. Excuse me. But I just was like, what is this argument really about? It was just weird. Um, you think Summer's mad about Alex? I don't know why they trip over Alex. He gets on my nerves. He comes across as thinking that he's God's gift to women, and I personally think he could stand to bulk up a bit. You know, I like my men fit. And I think Alex is a nice looking guy. I feel like my hair is getting frizzy. But is he worth it to be doing all that? Yes. It's like, what is wrong? What is wrong? I just don't understand. It's really strange. But she gives me like unhinged and needs to maybe talk with a professional to work through whatever she's got going on internally. All that to say, it leaves off to be continued, and I'm hoping that we get some resolution next episode, which will be episode 7. But I just kind of feel like the argument went to a place that it didn't have to go. And I just don't know what it's about. There's a root somewhere, and I just don't know what the root is. But it's kind of like, didn't Noelle screw him too? Am I not? And if y'all are offended by me saying that, I apologize. But didn't she sleep with him as well? I feel like a couple of girls have slept with Alex. But didn't Noelle sleep with Alex too? Yeah, one thing I'm not do is messing with anybody my friends have messed with. That's nasty. You said not yet. Oh, you're right. Esther, you're right. Because I remember, didn't Summer try to give her tea about how sex with him was? Because she did sleep with him. Ugh. Yeah, I do not believe in community pain. You got one good time to let me find out you a F boy, and I'm good on it. I don't believe in community pain. I don't. It's something very musty about it. It's something very musty about it that I just can't get with. So I'm really curious to see what's going to happen. And I really want to know what the root of it is, but it just didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense to me when I watched the episode earlier today. I'm like, what is you so mad about? Knocking stuff over and having a drunk tantrum. So I'm wondering if she's going to wake up the next morning and be like, I was just drunk. I hate when people do that. Like, come on. If you're an angry drunk, then maybe you shouldn't drink. It's very weird to me. Like, that was just a very weird outburst. You said we're not offended? Oh, gosh. Yes. I'm like, oh goodness. But that's really pretty much the episode. I felt like it was a positive episode outside of Summer's outburst. Bria's always going to Bria. She's always going to be obnoxious. But I'm really curious, like, what really happened to garner that type of response. You said, right, everybody's Jamie. Okay. Don't be Jamie Foxx and me. Hold your liquor better. But yeah, I'm kind of like, y'all, I'm so invested in this show, and I want to see life after the summer house. Like, I really wish this was a full-time cast, but I think everyone, like a full-time filming, because I want to know what goes on once they go home. But everyone lives in different places. Like, this is like where everyone flies to for their vacation spot. And can I just say, I actually kind of fell in love with Nick this episode. He kind of had that, okay, if you watch the episode, you'll understand what I'm saying. But he had a Steve Urkel to Stefan transformation, in my opinion, this episode. I'm actually going to tweet that, so don't steal my tweet. But this episode made me like Nick even more. Like before, he kind of got on my nerves because he is like he has a little bit of an elitist attitude, but he really made me like him this episode. I was like, okay, Stefan, I see the Stefan transformation because he's kind of nerdy, right? Like Nick is kind of nerdy, but he honestly made me believe in him this episode. I was like, okay, what's my ranking of the cast? This is a great way to end, y'all, because you guys know that I'm going over to a reality BTV. So I have an interview with them at 8, so I'm going to hop over there. So this is not going to be too long. So what's my ranking of the cast? Favorite to least favorite? Absolute favorite is Preston. Preston is my favorite. Next in line would honestly be Jasmine. Next in line after Jasmine would probably be Nick, then Noelle. All I know is Bria's last. Jordan is right on top of her. Alex is above Jordan. I'm going backwards now. These are my least favorites. And then everyone else is kind of convoluted in the middle. But that would, Amir, I like him. I like his personality. He gets on my nerves sometimes, but I do like his personality. I think he's good for the house. I really liked when Nick said, oh gosh. What did Bria say she needed? She needed a sleep companion or something like that. I can't remember what she said, but his response to her tickled me so bad. So I feel like Nick started to grow on me in episode 5. And slowly but surely, he's still growing on me. So yeah, I would say those are my rankings. Everyone else is in the middle. Those are my top, 3 or 4, and then my bottom 3 or 4. And then everybody else is somewhere in the middle. But I really love this show. If you guys have not got into it, please check it out. It's so good. I'm going to continue to post my reviews. And I may make this a members only review. So if you have not become a channel member, be sure to become a channel member, because I think I'm going to start doing these reviews within my channel members only. And there's exclusive content and my members only content that I will not post publicly, but you'll get access to as a member. But you guys are great. I love y'all. And I will see you in about 20 minutes on Reality BTV's channel.